Welcome to another edition of Living Simply and Fun. Today, as you can see, I am in my easy chair.
Yep, and tonight we are going to be smoking the Quesada Heisenberg, which has a very interesting wrapper. Sorry. If you could see, it actually has the formula for quantum mechanics rule of uncertainty, which was developed by Werner Heisenberg. And it's very similar to the information on Schrodinger's cat.
Wait a minute, isn't Heisenberg part of the development team for the nuclear bomb?
Not that I know of.
Or the blimp?
Might have been a blimp. No, that was Hindenburg. But anyways, this was based basically on the same theory of Schrodinger's cat, that if you put a cat in a box with something like poison or whatever, and you put it in a vacuum, the cat would be neither living nor dead or whatever. So, anyways, I think that's really unique, and I wonder if CI and the other places figured out, because they posted that they don't know anything about the cigar, and it's an uncertainty, which would be interesting because of the quantum mechanics formula for uncertainty on here. But it seems that they didn't know what the symbols were, and I don't know. That it just kind of seemed odd that they wouldn't mention the fact that it was named after Werner Heisenberg, or that it had anything to do with quantum mechanics. All they said is the cigar company wants to release a cigar that's an uncertain creature that you know nothing about, and they said this was it. That's about the best they could do. It's just say, we know nothing about the cigar company, and we know nothing about the cigar because it's uncertain. And actually, the cigar company, Quesada, actually makes Casa Magna cigars, and they also make the Fonseca line. So, if you didn't know that, they also make a couple other lines
Your Fonseca
that I've never really heard of. Well, you like the
them.
Fonsecas that you had.
Yeah, as long as
those
I didn't pay
were quite
for
a long
them.
time ago. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and light these up.
Sniff.
Oh, yes. I'd say the scent is non-existent, which would certainly make it an uncertainty, wouldn't it? I just hope the flavors aren't non-existent.
This is... all I'm picking up is...
nothing. Unless you got a better sniffer than I do.
Earth. I'm picking up hints of earth. And chocolate.
So, sorry about that. That looks like you got it. So far, I gotta say this has a unique flavor to it. It reminds me of nuts in quite a good manner, particularly roasted chestnuts, I think.
Walnuts.
Maybe. Light leather, very light leather, sitting in the background. A slight pepper in the foreground, but not like a spicy pepper, just very, very basic, mild almost non-existent, but mostly kind of nutty, I think.
No. Lay down.
And I think this is going to be quite appealing as a cigar so far.
Tastes like, now that I've gotten a good taste of it, a hot cooked pistachios, cashews, and peanuts. Fresh. From one of those peanut or nut vendors, you know.
I always have that one little section on the one corner that just does not light up.
Did you check to see if these cigars are in larger sizes?
No, I didn't, even though I did look them up just briefly to see what they had to say on CI, because I was wondering why the name Heisenberg. Heisenberg is an interesting name, and most cigars seems to be based on a city or a country or a province or named after somebody who's influential in the cigar world. They usually have names that you can figure out. I mean, like, look at the CAO OSA. That's for Osa del Sol or whatever. Whatever. I don't remember the city's name. Or look at, you know, the EP Carrillos. Most of them are EP Carrillo this or EP Carrillo that. And those are obviously based on names like the Victor Sinclairs. Besides the Bohemian, which I think is a reference to artsy, the art world. Names of cigars always intrigue me. AVOs, I just love them because they're, in fact, most people call them AVOs, even though it's named for a guy whose name is Avo. So they actually are Avos. But anyways, so far I'm finding this really good. I don't know anything else to say right now. We're not doing a wine tonight because we got a show coming up at 9 o'clock, and it's 6:04 here. Right now, we started these at 6 o'clock, so I'm not going to put my timer on. Even though it's 6 o'clock and I don't have anything to do till 9, I have to make a phone call around 7:30. So we chose a short cigar, hoping that it'd be done by then. Then I can talk on the phone, get the phone call over with, and then end up going on and watching a TV show, which is a TV show called Lucifer, which is kind of humorous, and I could see some people being appalled by it. I don't think it'll be a long-running show because of that. I think there'll be too many complaints. Both, you know, I would assume atheists might complain due to the fact that it's too religious. I would figure that Christians, many of them would complain on the grounds that it's a movie about Lucifer, or a TV show about Lucifer alone anyways. And others will say it makes Lucifer look too nice because he's trying to help people. And that's not how he is. So, and it even says basically that he's one of God's children. And he even refers to God as dad throughout the show. So there will be those who say, well, he's fallen, he's no longer accepted there, etc. But regardless, I think it's a good show, and I don't care what people might think because it's a good show. If you enjoy watching it and it's humorous, I really don't think it matters what other people think. But I do think the show's probably going to end up being canceled.
And yes, I'm wearing a new shirt, and my hair is completely rich red, as you all see. So, with that said, everyone, please look for the first third. Thank you.
Okay.
Welcome back, everyone, to another section, another third. I was just getting an idea. When we get the video done, I'm going to flip it over to the picture for a second and take a picture for Facebook. I look pretty damn good, and I'm feeling pretty damn good between the glasses, the lipstick, and this cute little shirt. I want to share it on Facebook.
And just curious what you think of the setup here. It's different than what we have over at Rita's place. And we will do some summer videos too.
Outside, yep.
We did some of those live. I remember that.
And just so you know, please stand by. In about 30 days, 32 days, I will try to get a room with the ADA paperwork we have, so we can get a smoking room, so we can do a few videos on video with
and
you.
We've pretty much already decided what we plan to do for that. We're thinking about getting some canes or some old Henrys.
Or both, and one of us buys the canes.
And Rocky Patels are another thought. We found a nice little bundle that's affordable. So, the question is which we would do. I think there was one other we were looking at too. Oh, yeah, the Rocky Patel Mulligans. the whole collection now, and we've only reviewed, I think, live one of them. I think we did a brief review when we did the Buzzards Banquet 1 and 2. So, anyways,
on to the cigar.
Yes, review. The cigar. I had to take my band off already. That's 24 minutes into the cigar, so this is going to probably be, since 1/3 took me 24 minutes, this is going to be at least an hour cigar. And I was kind of concerned it might go too fast. And part of that is I'm enjoying the flavors of this enough that I'm finding it a little hard to put down at times. And so I'm kind of smoking faster than I would. That's why I kind of have a conical ash on here. Rita's is more flat because she's given it a chance to cool. And me, I'm just like, give me more, give me more, give me more. This is a roasted nut flavor still. More walnutish to me right now. That's the predominant flavor. I decided not to make it an uncertainty. Question is, if you gave me one of these to hold on to for you until you got back from a trip or something, and I had it in my possession for 20 days, like Schrodinger's cat, would it be lit or unlit? There's a 50-50 chance.
More likely, you leave it in his possession, he'll smoke it and then say he doesn't have it anymore.
This would be an uncertainty with me if you left one in my possession, because so far I really am enjoying
not
it.
Possession. Possession.
Well, yeah, both kind of work in some ways. But yeah, I'm not 100% better yet. Anyways, what's your thoughts so far?
It's got a good roasted nut flavor. I do think it's an interesting sampler I bought with him. We each gave each other a box of these for Valentine's Day, and I just gotta say,
not a box of the Heisenbergs, but a box of the Quesada winners in the pack.
I finally think this is a pretty good cigar. In my opinion, if you have an hour or so, no problem. It's a really good cigar. Now, for some of you, I just want to talk also for a second. It's got a good ash. It's good thick smoke. My thought is when it comes to this here stick, it is really a good cigar. Now, me, it's something that smokes like a dream. It's got good construction. I thought these for the price is going to have crappy construction, but it doesn't. And the other thing I wanted to say was...
Yes, to quote our friends, Pipe Freak Senior and Junior, it smokes like a dream.
Now, the other thing I want to say in this video for you... the other thing I wanted to say to you all in this video is... I'm sorry I don't have the... intro for since we're over here, but I will put together an intro later.
Yeah, then we have one on this computer too. But we had to use this one for portable because it's hooked up to the webcam, and my computer, we don't want to bother with trying to put it on there and everything. And so this just makes it easier.
Now, as far as cigars in our trip we're going to in 32 days, I'm going to try to save some of the diesels for us to have a diesel or two.
Well, that totally depends, too. We should probably endeavor to, but if we get those other samplers or whatever, we should go ahead and do those before we go on the trip.
I'm going to email us one sampler to one company because I have an idea, but I'm not going to give you guys the company because I'm not authorized.
Well, isn't it the RPs?
They're Rocky Patel, but I'm not going to give you what type, what store, etc. It's none of your guys'
There's
business.
4 types that would make for a fantastic sampler.
Yes, and I'm going to talk to them about it and see what can
Unlike
be done.
video game companies that can't listen to the consumer who makes any suggestions or gives any advice because, in fact, they no longer can do that option if you give them the advice. That's kind of bull. But they're afraid of lawsuits, somebody claiming it's their intellectual property because they wrote them about it, you know. So that actually kind of damages the video game market. And I don't think a cigar company can say, well, we can't put that together because of the intellectual property rights. Then you'd be able to claim it. And I mean, we have to have the ability to sell them in the first place to be able to put something together, wouldn't we? And we don't have any license like that, so I think they could listen.
So, there you have it, I guess.
Yeah. So we'll see you when we get into the final third of this, and we'll take it from there.
Yep. Thank you, and stay tuned. Welcome back to part 3 of this cigar review.
Yep. We're in the final third here. Rita's right at the beginning of it, and I'm getting near the end of it. As I said, I was smoking this again faster than her. It's very hard when you got multiple people smoking to stay in pace with each other. Because some people like to puff more and some people like to puff less.
For you cigar people out there, including you, Cigar Dog, our boys over in, what do you call it? Even though you guys haven't made any desert, and you always say, where's it? You'll have Aaron in the video. I smoke slower because I want to get the flavors in my mouth. Yeah. And as a cigar reviewer and as a woman, I think slow tasting is good because I would like to get my money's worth.
Well, for about 5 minutes, you almost completely ignored your cigar, too. So
because he asked me to do a small project, so...
Yeah, we found out that the Heisenberg did come in multiple lengths.
But it's hard to find now.
Yes. They can be found, but...
it's like finding a needle in a haystack. And at a higher cost. That's all I'm going to say.
So, anyways, this is still holding rather nutty. And the leather hints that I was picking up earlier seem to have come forward now. So it's kind of a leathery, nutty flavor right now. And it's quite a good cigar.
For you cigar smokers out there, I do got a question for you tonight. A stupid question, but it's more about taste on cigars. There's a lot of cigars out there that taste nutty or earthy or like beers and, mint and coffees. And I'd like your opinion on this, any of you that's watching this. What would you think of having some cigars that are taste just like flavored cheeses? That would be really cool.
I think personally, in my opinion, that if I was a cigar manufacturer, I'd probably try to go with more standard flavors, like the nutty and earthy and maybe dabbling in floral or fruity, but chance that I'd go to too many flavors isn't likely. In fact, I kind of think in some ways, shame on Drew Estate and CIO. In this day and age, we're dealing with issues of government trying to say that children smoke cigars, which there's no doubt that underage children, who aren't old enough to smoke yet, do get a hold of Black and Milds and Swisher Sweets and Philly Blunts, but they're not really smoking a cigar. I don't consider any of those to be cigars, really. In fact, most of those, like Black and Mild, are pipe tobacco crammed into a cigar leaf, and it's not even a real cigar leaf. I think it's a synthetic cigar leaf, but I'm not certain. Anyways, those I don't consider to be cigars. And when they start doing things like the CAO Cherry Bomb and the CAO Moon Trance, which is fruit infused, and the Drew Estate Java Mint and natural coffee flavors, etc., I actually wonder if those are pointed more towards younger smokers. And that's the one thing that could end up damaging the hand rolled cigar
I would
industry.
like to make a statement, not to upset Aaron in any way, but no offense, Aaron, but your granddad didn't know what a real cigar is,
No.
because White Owls and Dutch Masters are not cigars.
And in fact, I dislike Dutch Masters horribly because not long ago I bought a 5-pack of them because I could afford a 5-pack and I wanted something to smoke out that outside that wasn't going to be totally ruined. And one thing I noticed is a yellowish, slimy fluid dripping out the back end that stained everything it touched. And I was like, this is gross. I've never had a premium hand rolled that dripped any type of fluid like this. I've actually heard of one person who claimed their cigar did that, and I've never seen that except for in a Dutch Master. So, and I have seen it in a Philly Blunt before too. And the reason for that is because so often instead of cigar tobaccos, those things have pipe tobaccos. Pipe tobaccos are fresher usually, and oftentimes when you're smoking them, you'll actually hear the juices collecting in the bottom, and you can hear them in your pipe gurgle, sort of, as you're smoking. And sometimes some of that sucks through, and you kind of get a mouthful, and it's gross. Even though I do like a pipe now and then, I always try to be very cautious of the pipe juice, which is essentially what's coming out of those cigars is pipe juice, even though you don't have a pipe. So, yeah, I'll agree. They're not really truly cigars. Um, you'll never find anything like that, as I know, in a hand roll. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give my rating on this. For one, I'm going to have to say, because of the name alone and the fact that there's some history in here, the Heisenberg and the theory of uncertainty, etc., that this is really cool to learn. It helps you learn something, too, if you choose to know anything about the cigar and where it got its name, and then you do a little research on where the name came from, and then it's like, wow, this is kind of interesting. It gets into like string theory and all that stuff. And it's, I got to say that that's actually a benefit to me, because so often I smoke a cigar and the band or the name of the cigar hold no meaning. And I like this because it does hold meaning. Now, that doesn't really affect terribly my rating on this, but it will increase it just a bit, maybe a 0.5% or something. The flavors in this are simply amazing. As I said, I'm having a problem putting this down. And I'm even waiting on this thing. I just want to get as much as I can out of it. And I keep finding myself going straight back to it right after I've taken a puff or so. And the burn length, we're at an hour right now from when we lit up. And I probably got another 10 minutes on this. Rita's probably got another 15 to 20. And so for a 4-inch cigar with a 50 ring gauge, this is a beautiful length. And it makes me wonder why you get a Toro that burns an hour and 5 minutes when a little 4x50 that's 2 inches shorter, that's 2 inches shorter than a Toro, burns as long as some Toros I've had. Why can't other cigar companies say, let's give our cigar smokers something to enjoy and make sure that this is something lengthy for them? Instead, it's like, oh, pay $10 a stick and it's going to smoke an hour. I don't really enjoy that. That actually goes against my preferences. So I'm going to have to give this overall a 10.0. The flavors are just marvelous. It is a medium-bodied cigar with mild flavors that are semi-complex.
Medium-bodied cigar, complex, yes. I do want to say that as it gets shorter, it is bothering my filling, but what the hell?
Every cigar you've had recently has been doing that.
I do want to say also...
I think it's the heat coming off the cigar.
I do want to say thank you to my subscribers, or me and Aaron's subscribers, our subscribers, because... And ones that aren't subscribing, that just come across our channel. I want to thank every one of you for keep raising the bar on our Chillin' Moose. We have almost 200 reviews since we just posted it.
It's amazing. And we almost didn't do a review of that one because we bought a box of them and forgot to review it. We took notes on it, but we misplaced our notes.
So thank you to you, the viewers, for allowing us to re-review it for you all. And I hope to re-review some of them that we just had notes on them.
Yeah, like the Amati. We have those again this month because of affordability issues.
And just so you know, for some of you out there, Wednesday's cigar choice is going to be a diesel of some sort, I think.
I would think so, too. And we'll also be doing our next couple reviews probably here. As some of you have known, we're not really supposed to smoke in our apartments. And Rita's got a work order out, and we want to make sure to air her place out before doing another review there. So this kind of works out for us, especially since I put down Wednesday or Thursday for the review work order to be completed. So that gives us a chance to air out all day Tuesday, half the day Wednesday, and half the day Monday night. And cigar smell tends to dissipate very quickly, and it doesn't smell like tobacco usually. When managers or whatever go into an apartment, they're looking for cigarette smell. And that's very acidic smelling almost, and it's very easy to pick up, especially because you smoke so much. A pack a day definitely makes a stronger smell than one cigar a day. So, anyways, as I said, I'm giving this a 10.0. Rita, your thoughts?
I'm going to give this cigar a 10.0, but I'm also going to say 10.0. Construction is a 10.0. Lots of smoke, so the entire overall is a 10.0. Or in cigar magazines, I'm going to give this a flat outright rating of 97.
Yes, as cigar ratings go, I think this would have to be a 98 to a 100.
Exactly, but I'm choosing 97 because it's easier. Now, as far as...
it gives room to find a better cigar.
Exactly, but you know, for the size of it, I wish the ring gauge would have just been like a 60, like a nub, but...
Or 5 inches long, or 6.
Or a nub plus, you know, Habano 5x60, but... Anyways, but
I can't complain about the length of this cigar.
No, you know, me being a...
we were actually afraid with these being 4-inch by 50 that they would smoke in half an hour to 40 minutes. So they've been a very, very pleasant surprise. And I'm going to say major props to Quesada Cigars.
And the other thing I wanted to say for you all when it comes to cigars is... we review them. We take our time smoking them. I've seen people power puff a nub in like 37 minutes. And then they're like, well, you know, it's a shorty. No.
That is going to roach you out horribly and dry you out to the point that you're probably nearly in pain from the dryness in your mouth. I couldn't imagine smoking one of those.
I want to say to you subscribers out there, you cigar smokers that come across this cigar itself, if you guys want to sit there and say, oh, well, these short ones need to be power puffed, go ahead and buy some Fence XSLs or the Flora de Olivas 8 or 10 by 66s, go and power puff those and then see how well you feel after you've smoked them and you're turning green.
I'm going to say that if you have a chance to go to CI and get the Quesada winter sampler of these, they might be $22.50 for 5 cigars that are 4 by 50. But so far we smoked 2 of them and reviewed them. And in both cases, they got good reviews from us. So $22.50 for some people is a drop in the bucket. In fact, for a lot of people, $22.50 is something that you really can just ignore price-wise. But for us, $22.50 is a pretty decent chunk of money, and we're not regretting our purchase at all. In fact, this has been very, very pleasant surprise.
Let's just say, for example, since this is our cigar review, and you guys are tuning in, subscribers and non-subscribers, looking for cigar reviews. And I just want to say that when it came to us, we're hoarding some of our cigars for our trip. But Aaron and I talked, and we decided that we're going to get between a 5 and actually a 6 and 8 cigar sampler for our trip, and our price range each was $30.
Well, we're
That's
looking
what we
like
can afford.
8 cigars for you and 8 cigars for me, which ends up giving us a total of 8 reviews, because each one is done in duplicates.
Now, unless I want to go out and say just to review it, just for poops and giggles, and pay $10 more and get 30 cigars and mostly Robusto size of, say, the Buzzard Bank with 3, that would be fine too. You get 30 cigars for $10 more, but
we try not to review anything that's not really name brand. Rocky Patel, we don't mind doing those because almost everybody's familiar with the Rocky Patel name. And they do have a lot of economic cigars out there. But when it comes to a company's personal cigar brands like the Boardwalk from Holtz or the Raji's Untimely Demise
by
from
Cigar
International, we don't see as much reason to do a good review on that or even a review because, well, if you're going to be buying cheap cigars, you're probably going to be buying cheap cigars.
And at least there's...
It's nice to have a change up now and then, too. So, but if we find something that we just find ultra pleasant and we think it's worthy of having a review to say, then we'll do a review on it. Or if it's horrible. In fact, we were doing cigars a long time ago. Almost 2 years ago now, where we didn't do any reviews because we didn't think about doing reviews at that time. And we tried some, well, I did some reviews on them. I did the Duque and some other ones that came out then. Actually, we did them on our channel too because I remember somebody talking about one of them. I can't remember the name of it now. But we really enjoyed that one because it was kind of a fruity cigar. I'd have to check my door. I remember then. Well, you wouldn't remember and don't read all the brands. Yeah, I was making magnets out of the labels so we could keep track of what we had, but I ran out of paper for it.
La Differencia Cubana.
That was it. Ouch. So, yeah, I remember we did do a review on that because somebody asked questions about it, and I don't know if we ever did a follow-up to that.
We did not.
I don't remember what the question even was now. But anyways, this is about this cigar, and as we both agree, this is a 10.0 out of 10. We definitely recommend it, and we right now as 2 out of 5, we highly recommend that winter pack if they still have it in stock. Thanks for watching.
Please add and subscribe if you like. Please post comments, leave feedback, suggestions. As our boys over at Desert Smoke would say, smoke 'em if you got 'em.